Hi. I'm Regina, and you are you. Well, welcome to Coffee with Regina, on the Trans Voices of Love and Kindness channel. We're brought to you by the friendly confines of Ray's Rose Coffee. Um, my business for several years now, about 10 years. God, here at the first of the month, it'll be 10 years in the roastery where I'm at now. And wow, I'm the longest tenant in that building. God, my nose is running. Oh dear. Oh, how is everybody? Goodness gracious. Um, Seems like it's been forever since I've been here. And I just did a show last week. So, anyway, here's the address to my business. We got full online services. Um, we ship all over continental US, and I'd love to ship to Canada. If you want, you can contact me. Shipping is entirely different, though. It's really expensive to get a pound of coffee across the border. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Here I go, just talking about anything that comes to mind, which is what we're here for. I've got stories to tell and all that kind of stuff today. I got readings to do. I got it all. I think the reading I wanted to do, though, I never printed off. And I might be able to do that while we're like talking here. And because I know it's up here on yep, there it is. And so anyway, I just got stuff to talk about. I don't know. I got contacted here a couple of weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago now by a cousin that I hadn't seen for like 50 years. I think I might have mentioned that. Anyway, we talk every once in a while, and it starts bringing stuff out from my past. And I always think that's kind of nice. Whoa. Hey, Jessica Dean, how are you? Welcome. And so it's been really kind of interesting because, I'm sure that I've talked about what my childhood was like, and I've blanked most of it out because things weren't going my way, obviously, over the years. And so, so it's been really nice to get another perspective that sees things very similar to what I experienced, because his mother and my mother were sisters, and they were always hanging out, and so he knows how hard it was to be a child of one of those women. And today I'm drinking a cup of geisha from Ethiopia. This is where the geishas originated. This is one of that, maybe the same damn plant. Now, I don't think they're that old. And by the price of this coffee, the geishas have gotten so popular now that the price is becoming reasonable. And you can get a cup of it every once in a while, or buy a pound of it. Like I think I've got it for sale on the website. I didn't get very much of it because it's still kind of spendy. But anyway, a nice coffee, really nice coffee. It's an Ethiopian. It's I always consider Ethiopian coffees to be a little brighter, more acidic than some of the others, and I like that. Choom. Every once in a while. I am not going to drink, excuse me, I am not going to drink some coffees every day, and this would be one of them. You know, it's good occasionally, and that, to me, that's still a good coffee worth having. I mean, I keep 5, 6 coffees here at the house, so I can have what I want when I want it. So anyway, um, rapidly moving along. So yeah, my cousin agrees that it was difficult growing up at that time. And so that gets me into the childhood story of always wanting to be someone else. You know, I mean, I talked to my parents when I was, I'm going to say 5, maybe 4, you know, and trying to tell them that wasn't what I appeared to be. And and of course, you know, if you can imagine what it was like in rural podunk eastern Washington, away from the cities, living out on a farm, how much contact we had with the world. You know, if there was national news came into the house, it was about farming. You know, we listened to the farm reports. We did everything. There wasn't even what am I trying to get to here? There wasn't even television, you know, in my early years. I remember us getting a television at about when I was about 5, 6 years old, you know, and my favorite show when I stayed home from school was Queen for a Day. I loved Queen for a Day. And I always wanted to be Queen for a Day. But I mean, that's part of the story because what I always wanted to be was somebody else. You know, we would watch the Mouseketeers and I would want to be Spin or Marty and there was, you know, or I wanted to be Darla, you know, one of the girls. And oh my God, you know, and there came a cartoon that was called Tutor Tutor Turtle. And it was just some funky cartoon on the Saturday morning, Viggy Rat and Itchy Brother cartoon show. I don't even know what the name of the show was, but there was this one 3, 4 minute cartoon every week. And it was always like it had Mr. Wizard in it who would turn Tutor into a logger or whatever he wanted to be, and he had something different every week, and that was my favorite cartoon because I wanted to be somebody other than who I was constantly all my life. And so obviously I was never comfortable in my skin, and that was that. um you know, made kind of interesting, you know, playing with whoever I played with. I never called myself by my dead name. You know, I always was somebody else. It was different. I don't know if any of you have experienced that same thing, or what. Are you still here, Jessica? Did I scare you off? Um, anyway, I I just totally screwed myself up saying that. Oh my. Yeah. Good, good. I got lost in my story and then was Oh, holy smokes. Yeah, the little eye up here that says how many viewers I got isn't going. I forgot to say like my story today, like this episode and subscribe, get notified. Forgot all about that. And I'm just like, oh, because my friend Sarah, she's always saying, Regina, talk more about yourself. And so I'm trying that today. She also wanted to know about my lipstick, and I've gotten several compliments this week about my lipstick. And this is like nothing special. This is just like a Revlon color stay. And I like this tube that it comes in because it goes in my purse and the cap doesn't come off. Those regular little short things of lipstick, I stick them in my purse, and then the next thing I know, I stick my finger in there and get it stuck in the hole because the caps come off, and then I've got red all over my hands and everything that's in my purse, and it just is a pain in the ass. And oh my God. So yeah, that's why I like this. And amongst other reasons, because it stays on for quite a while. A lady the other day, she was telling me how well I wore lipstick, and I was laughing with her because she was telling me how she never wears lipstick. And I said, well, I put it on when I leave the house. And even though I've got it in my purse, I never put it on again, and it usually leaves. And that's why I like the color stay. Why am I telling you all this? Because this is me. These are the things that I have to live with up here in my head. And today's the equinox. Is it nice at your house, Jessica? Are you having a good spring day? Are the flowers blooming in Ireland? And what's your day like there? How many hours of daylight do you have? That's the question I always want. What our latitude is and how many. I'm pretty close to the 45th latitude. I think I'm at 46 something, or on the upper 45s. I can't remember exactly. But, we're like 3, 4, 10 minutes longer than 12 hours right now for daylight from sunset to sunrise. So it's even be longer than that, but not much. Nice day today, not as cold. Yeah, we got like 20, 21. I think our high today was supposed to be like 22 degrees Celsius, 74, I would be. And starting to see a stretch of what? Anyway, I got to play golf a couple of times this week. I'm so stiff and sore that I had to take today off, living on acetaminophen, trying to keep moving, because we worked in a flower bed over at the golf course. That's one of my jobs now as a volunteer on the board of directors. Me and my neighbor. Okay. In the brighter days. Yeah, I am just jacked that it's so warm. It's supposed to cool off again here, not tomorrow, but the day after. Well, I mean, it'll start the cooling trend tomorrow, but the day after that, I think it's supposed to be rainy and 9, 10 degrees, somewhere like that. But Everybody been talking, oh, it's going to snow again. It's going to snow again, but it's not going to snow again. We're done. I mean, I say that and it'll immediately start snowing. I mean, we've had snow in these parts as late as June, July, but it's rare. You know, it might freeze again, might not. That wouldn't surprise me. My crabapple tree is not blooming yet, so it won't freeze until that happens and wipes out all my blossoms. It usually lasts about a week, just beautiful if it doesn't freeze. And if it does freeze, it lasts about 3 days. And I love to go out there and stand under it and listen to all the bees. There's enough bees there that I can hear them, you know. Oh my gosh, my friend Mary, who's blind, so she has really acute hearing. And so she tells me about all these bird calls that she hears. And I just can't even imagine listening to bird calls anymore. When I was in college, I took ornithology, and it was like one of my most favorite courses, but I did not do well because I couldn't hear the bird calls, and every Friday we would go out hiking someplace and the teacher would point to, here's some birds, and she would say, what is that? And then she would test us on these bird calls. And shit, I could no more pass one of those quizzes. And it was the first C I got in college, and I was kind of pissed. And I went and I said, well, that's a hearing disability thing. And she says, too bad. Those other guys have to hear it, and why should I give you a good grade when you're not doing the work? And so me and one of the other brilliant genius-like students both got C's because we couldn't hear. I mean, we probably got a little bit higher scores than what we really deserve, but yeah, it was just an unfortunate. She said, go into waterfowl and you'll be able to hear those just fine. Thanks. So I didn't go into birding. So that's my ornithology story for today, but that had nothing to do with my childhood. My other story I was going to tell, first off, let me get up. I'll be like a whole second away from here. I'll do my reading. I hope I don't cough all the time. I'll do my reading and then we'll talk about it because it's meant to be really lighthearted. Like one of those things I don't really care about. I wore lips for you all today. So here's my reading for today. This was it's about a lost weekend. Before I start talking about something I know nothing about, let me tell you about the recollection of concerts from 50 years ago. While reading an article about the band Chicago one day, I came across a name that took me back to an earlier band that I vaguely recalled seeing, but couldn't remember where. I downloaded a couple albums of the band, the Sons of Champlin. Good music, a lot of horns, kind of a jazzy, soulful feel, too much I like. But I could not recall where I had seen them. I wasn't even sure I had. I was starting to doubt. One thing about the internet is you can find things. I have looked up shows of bands from the late 60s or early 70s just to see who was playing guitar. I have looked up dates at venues to help me recall headliners and opening acts. But in all that searching, the Suns never came up until this week past. A little known, highly controversial rock festival happened over by Olympia near Tenino, the Sky River Rock Festival 69. That was right after Woodstock. The world was not about to let that happen again. Not sure what triggered me to remember the name. I remember being there for 3 days, but don't remember much about the music. I saw a list of performers, and oh my God, I remembered 2 or 3 bands, that is all. So the question is, does it count to say you saw a band when you can't remember seeing them, even though you know you were there? This is a pretty tongue in cheek recollection. Please don't be critical of my misspent youth. I have had to live those days to be who I am today, and I'm good with that. Much love to all. So, anyway, that's my story about Sky River Rock Festival. I don't know if I've ever talked very much about my use of psychedelics in the early 70s, but I loved them. And when I went to this rock festival, I found some guy selling acid. And I bought oh God, I don't know how much I bought. And I started eating it, and I kept saying to myself, I'm not getting off on this. I don't remember. I remember seeing a band called Kaleidoscope, and it was one of the members of that band became really quite famous later on, and was a session musician with a lot of albums, and played with Jackson Brown for a long time. Um, and they were really quite entertaining, good music. And I remember seeing Hoyt Axton with John Cipollina of the Quicksilver Messenger Service. They had been kind of like doing a thing in between major acts, and that was cool. And but I miss it, you know. I guess the Youngbloods were there, and I've seen the Youngbloods several times, so I always get the venues screwed up. And I mean, there was a lot of other bands I've seen quite a bit of. Flying Burrito Brothers were there, and I've been going to at that time I was what, in my 20s, and or almost 20, something like that. Hell, I don't know. Um, Actually, I think that weekend was my 19th birthday, come to think of it. Um, but yeah, great bunch of bands, and I don't remember any of it. I remember, and I'll tell you what, I had enough of that acid that I took some back home with me, and a week or so later, I took some, and holy shit. So I must have just been so high. I don't remember anything. I don't know. Does anybody else have experiences like that? Just leave them in the comments down below. I'm pretty sure we're safe now. We can talk about it. Um, you know, a couple of weeks before that, I'd gone to a outdoor rock festival up by Seattle, and the Doors and Led Zeppelin were the closing acts on Sunday night. And I remember being awake for the Doors, but I don't remember anything about seeing them. And and then Led Zeppelin started playing, and I remember, I mean, it was like Led Zeppelin had just released their second album. I think it was, yeah, the second album. And I remember one of the songs on that. was being played off that album, and then I collapsed in a heap and slept for 7 days, and so, you know, I did have a little bit of a misspent youth, and so that's why I'm like really tongue in cheek on this, is because God, I probably saw more bands at this stuff that I can't remember than a lot of people ever see in their entire life. Um, so it's interesting to me. I like playing with this kind of thought process. I'll start thinking about something, and I'll get on the internet and start digging until I got answers. Sometimes I guess I don't do it that much. So, oh, so where are we at with life? Um, who else is here? I am just on a roll telling stuff and what's going on in the comments in the chat room. Good to see everybody here. I'll talk with you now. So, is the weather good everywhere? Or I could keep talking too, I guess. I don't know. You're also spellbound by my recollections of various things. Oh gosh, I'm pretty sure I'm not that interesting. I got another reading. I don't want to do it though. I was gonna save that. I keep saying I'm gonna do it, and just make a journal and make a journal page and keep um any holiday plans this year. Jessica, I do have plans. I think that I'm gonna go down to Eugene and visit with Simone, and I'm gonna go to Canada, up to Vancouver Island, visit with Marty's again. And that's my biggest vacation plans. I probably equal distance. I'm right in the middle of both those places. Takes a little longer to get up to Vancouver Island because you got to hit the ferries just right, and it's an all-day drive to get to the ferry terminal. But I have another way I might go, and that would be like taking me back to the Olympic Peninsula and then going on a different ferry over to Vancouver Island. There's a southern route up through Port Angeles, and yeah, because I just go up there and I have such a good time with my bestie, and yeah, I mean, we spend so much time talking every week and whatnot. We just talked again last night, and so yeah, and I don't know. I kind of want to do some more outdoor adventures. Back in the day, in my last few years or last 20 years, you're going to Los Angeles, like in this country? In September. Let me know when you be there. Maybe I can figure out a way of getting there. I'd love to see more people. You know, we had such a great time when Marty and I finally met that, gosh, what a whirlwind adventure we had. You know, God, it was just great, and we laughed so much, and God just loved it. And I've enjoyed getting to know Simone and you know, and Sarah. Gosh darn, I talked with Sarah there in Brussels, not Brussels, but Belgium. She's not in Brussels. Um, that Holy moly, we talk almost well, a couple of times a week. I shouldn't say every day, but you know, I mean, we text back and forth. I keep hoping to get to Europe one day. Oh, there's Simone. Hi, Simone. How are you, sweetie? I guess I should be careful about who I mention on this show. I talk about old friends that we've all met here. So, are you in Eugene or Portland today? Oh, you've always wanted to get in my bed. I know that. So that answers my question. So you're in Eugene, yeah. Now I bet it's nice there. Good grief, it's probably pushing 80 degrees. That's yeah. Wow. Cool, cool. It's nice here too, trust me. Uh oh, so good. So good. So 60 degrees and sunny. That's a little cooler than I thought it would be. Because we're like at 70 something. Oh. So have you been there for a long time? How long are you staying in Eugene? And I need to get busy talking again. Too much dead air time. Oh my gosh. So, any other stories anybody wants to hear? You haven't finished taxes yet. Oh my gosh. Like I just got anything to talk about. I decided I wasn't going to do taxes anymore. I shouldn't say that on the tube here. Um, yeah, yeah. So I hate it when I get like this and I'm like struggling. Then we'll start to concentrate on the big move. Good. I'm holding off waiting for you, honey. Yep. Yep. Gotcha. So I've told stories about my life. And yeah, I still think about it. We need to talk. We need to talk. I've been thinking about giving you a buzz. Oh, gosh. This is not the format, though, right here. So, anyway. How was my bed comfortable? uh, a buzz. I don't do drugs. What's that got to do with anything? Neither do I. So anyway, well, I'm sorry. I didn't sleep well last night either. You know, I woke up about 4:30 in the morning and I could not get back to sleep until about 6, something like that. And then I slept another hour or two. It's the way it goes sometimes, you know, get things on your mind. And Lord knows there's a lot on my mind. Did Jessica leave? I keep talking about going to Los Angeles to go see my coffee guy, let him wine and dine me and take me to Disneyland. You all remember Tim that did the tour of the coffee plant down there? He's still my guy. Still my guy. You know, even though he got married and all that stuff, probably married some sweet young thing. I shouldn't say probably, he did. Still. So you got more questions. Did you change your picture, Jessica? I want to see your picture. Oh, cool. Beautiful. Oh, new comments. Oh, great. Oh, I never thought about that. It's late there, isn't it? It's like 9 o'clock. What time is it here? 1 o'clock, 1:20. So it'd be 9:20. 8 hours difference? 7 hours difference? So, oh, to an avatar. So that's not really you? Well, that makes sense that you're not writing if your hands are wet, typing out a message. So anyway, well, I guess since I'm struggling and we're at 40 minutes, I should go now. That's a long enough show. Makes it a little more listenable. Does anybody else struggle trying to listen for a whole hour to something or an hour and a half? I'm like always like checking. Oh, that'd be great, Jessica. That would be great. Yeah, give me a little notice and see if we can't get something planned. see if we can't make something happen. That would be great. I love that idea. I'm long on ideas, not long on following through. No, I try. Money's always a problem for me, but we'll do a GoFundMe so I can meet another friend. That'd be cool, huh? Oh gosh. So okay. That wraps it up for this week. 8:20, so 7 hours difference. So I got yeah, I think it's 8 hours difference for Sarah there in Belgium. It could be 9 hours. I didn't realize that Ireland was that much further to the west. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to picture everything in my mind without having to get out a map and look. Maybe it's only 7 hours difference between here and there too. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I want y'all to know I've been wrong before, and that happens. I am not, as much as you all might think that I believe I'm a know-it-all, I'm really not. Oh my God, potential spam on my computer and my phone, bringing every place all around me. I don't know how I let that happen, but I am going to sign off. It has been such a pleasure to do this show today. I hope you enjoyed my stories. I will try to come up with some new ones, some new writings in the future. Look for journal entries. It'll just be uploaded readings, and I got an editing program added to my computer last night, and I'll see if I can't get some of the editing done and make them a little easier to watch. And oh, politicians! God, I'm so sick of politicians. You know, I get 150 emails a day, and 145 of them are freaking politicians asking for money. And I am so over it. So over it. None of them fill my needs for political leadership. So anyway, this is it. Much love to everyone, and I will see you next week. Hopefully. Stay tuned. I'll be back. Love you all. And off to do some coffee roasting. So take care. Enjoy your day, and I've got to figure out what I'm doing here. And so if I put that on there and then remove. Ooh, yeah. All right. Have a good day, y'all.